in commissions a year. And she's been through a number of these markets. She says, Rob, I'm getting calls from my clients saying, I am so sick of this house. I can't stand it. I've been in this house for a week now, and I'm sick of it. As soon as this virus is over, I want to go buy another one. Okay? They don't want the bad memories of being stuck in that house. They want to buy another one. So be prepared for that. Also, bringing value to your clients right now. Bringing value to the people on social media right now. Open houses. People are canceling public open houses. I get that. Why not do video open houses and post them up via Facebook Live, post them up on the social media channels, do video open houses, because a lot of people are sitting at home with nothing to do and they're bored. So instead of watching cat videos, give them an open house to watch, right? Watch
cat videos.
Now here's the trick. Don't just show them the good parts of the open house. They can get that from Zillow or MLS or wherever. Show them the panel box. Show them the air conditioning unit. Show them the crack in the wall. Show them the flaws in the house. And if you show them the flaws as well as the good parts, then that's a more comprehensive look, and they'll like that. They'll trust you. They'll want to see more. And
actually, that was the techniques that when I was living and selling, I don't point out the good part. I'm like, holy cow, look at this crack right here. Can you live with this? And point out, because you look at the buyer, look with the buyers as if you buy in your own house. So don't point out just the good stuff, but point out the stuff and how you feel about it and being authentic about it, which is key, especially building trust.
So how about selling homes sight unseen?
Yeah.
I mean, people say, oh, no, you can't do that. Tony, have you sold homes where the buyer didn't see the house until they closed?
Yeah, I closed one last week. People came from California. I sent them a lot of stuff, and they said, we want to see this one. I said, okay, let's go. And I walked through, FaceTimed it with them, went all the way through and showed it to them. They said, that's the one we want. We put that offer in, made it subject to a due diligence period and lengthened it out as far as that seller would allow us to go. And then he flew into town a week later and said, this is the one, let's move with it. So we closed it. Yeah, it was all cash. Yeah.
Tony, I have a closing next week, I guess, the 26th. And I'm representing the seller, but this buyer is out of town and had never seen the home. So, they did the same thing. They asked for, 60-day close and extended terms, and we gave it to them because they offered, they paid more for the privilege. But same thing. Their agent did a complete virtual walkthrough, and that's how they made that decision.
That's right. Yeah, you have to be willing to make these kind of shifts.
That's right, and be a resource for these clients, because people still need to buy houses. There are situations like in the military right now. They are quarantined on base because they don't want this stuff to get in the bases and interrupt their ability to serve. But they may be in a situation where they need to move. They're in a process of a transition coming soon, and they've got to be prepared when that happens. Well, you're going to have people that need to have a home ready to go when this is all over with and they do move. So be prepared in that situation.
While we're on this topic, for those of you that aren't familiar, there are, like, Matterport is one of them that comes to mind. It used to be you needed this $3,500 camera, and it took you 4 or 5 hours to go in and set it up, or pay someone, an extra couple $100 to do a 3D virtual tour of the home. But those technologies have come down a lot. I mean, there are apps where you can go with your smartphone and you can, basically set up a little thing that spins it around, and you can do that in each room. And it might take you an hour if you don't want to pay for it, or for just a little bit more than normal photos, you can get a full dollhouse 3D rendering where people can virtually walk through your listings or walk through homes. So there's a ton of technology to help right now.
The other thing to think about this too is when you're working with that out of town buyer or seller, do all you can to help. I mean, I met the painter there. I met the flooring people there. I set up all the arrangements for the estimates. They were still in California looking to move. And I made sure that when I met those people for estimates, again, I used my iPhone, FaceTimed with them, said, here's our painter, our floor guy, and they're going to give us good estimates. And then we worked all the way through, and I went back and checked it from time to time. those guys are going to refer other people to us.
Absolutely.
And it's just so important to service them any way you can.
That's right. So our job is to be relevant in the industry, to give that value. This is what we were built for as real estate agents. If you think about it, people for years were saying, oh, Zillow's going to take over the market. Redfin, Open Door, Knock, they're going to take over the market. They're going to put us out of business. Well, then this happens. And the word on the street is the iBuyer program is going to be down to 2 major players when this all shakes out, right? So real estate agents are built for this. We can bring that value to the consumer that no one else can. So make that happen. Also, stay in touch with everybody on social media, not just with open houses. Do that. Do items of value about, hey, have you thought about refining your house? Do something with your mortgage person and talk to them about that. But stay relevant on social media, giving items of value about the real estate industry, about what they can expect coming out of it. Now none of us know what's going to happen when this is done. I mean, it could be weeks, it could be months, we don't know, but we know it's going to be some sort of shift. Now, in my guess here, it's not going to be as deep and painful as, oh wait, because the market conditions weren't there, aren't here now, that were there. We had bad paper, we had bad mortgages, we had bad stuff going on. That's what caused that and why it was so deep. But we're going to have a shift of some kind. And so the facts are, we're going to have people losing their jobs for a while. Already happening, right?
And now we have laid off like 10,000 people.
We're going to have people coming out of this, even though they might have some payment delays or eviction delays. But at some point, that's going to shake out, and people are not going to be able to stay in their homes. They're going to need to sell it, right? They're going to either foreclose, or they're going to say, you know what, I just need to sell it to get out from under this big payment so I can restructure my life. That's going to be an opportunity to be able to help those clients to restructure their situation. You know, we bring an item of value to the consumer doing this. Get ahead of it. Tell them up front, look, if you're in this situation, let me help you before it gets too late, right? We can help you if we jump on top of it. Be that item of value. We're also going to have buyers. Here's what I see in this. If you have a qualified buyer, see, it's been a seller's market for a long time. Long time. And they've controlled a lot of this stuff with multiple offers and running up the prices and stuff. Well, going forward, I see we're going to have a period of time where buyers are going to be your gold. Because if you got a qualified buyer now that can still qualify for a home after this shakes out, they're going to be able to get some great deals on homes. They're going to be able to write the ticket on this. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a shift there. Now, at some point, that's going to all shake back out again, because this is a temporary blip. But we're going to have that period. How can you position yourself well to capture more buyers right now? Why can't you get people set up? Why can't you get your buyers to say, look, I know you want to buy in the future and get set up to buy when this is over with. I get it. Let's go ahead and get you fully pre-qualified right now. I'm not talking about just a little piece of paper saying that you might be qualified. I mean, fully underwritten, qualified.
Right. Hey, Rob, just a couple things back to the agents.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, I've been out on the lake this morning. It's where I get a loan. And the lake where I am right now is low. And I have to be real careful about what's in the water. Below the water line and what's floating on the water, or I'm going to tear that boat up. The thing is we need to pay real close attention to what's going on around us all the time. And I like the idea, you know, be quick, but don't be in a hurry.
Right.
Be quick, but don't be in a hurry. And then the other thing is, as agents, we need to be in a place right now where we learn to live with less. You know, reduce your expenses, reduce your business expenses, make it a game, reduce your personal expenses, make it a game every month. Hey, where can we reduce? Where can we make this thing happen? What's working? Treat it like a business. And then the other thing I think is so important is return calls super fast.
Yes.
Return calls to other agents, return calls to your prospects, return calls to your sphere. When people know that you return calls fast, they're going to continue calling you.
Absolutely.
And I just want to share one thing is like I'm, you know, saddened by all the things happening out there, but I am super duper happy because this is very much due. This is a time for many of us are forced to reset, are forced to really dig deeper to see what's important. Like Danny, we're talking about Rob and Tony, that we got to really look at our priorities. You know, like our family, we were looking out, we're like, okay, what is really important to us? What's really important to us? And just like you can go and have this kind of conversation with yourself, what's really important to you? Sometimes, owning a big home is not all there is to it. Owning a little home, you can move up, move down, doesn't matter. But what matters is how do we all have to be in this moment right now. We got to be extremely present with this moment. Doesn't matter you live in a big house and small house. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that we are breathing at all. And that's what I try to get to people to understand, that do not be panic about anything, because panic is an energy, is a negative energy inside of us that will do nothing but harm to ourselves and the people around us, the children, our friends, So people say, well, how can you be so positive during this time right now? I'm like, I feel the pain when somebody hit me, but I won't yell at them. I won't scream, because I'm able to understand and be present with that moment and that pain, just like Jesus said, right? Somebody slap you, like, oh, give them the other cheek. A lot of the principles that we're going to be learning, I haven't read the Bible in a long, long time, but I look back at all the principles, like let tomorrow be worried about tomorrow, but doesn't mean that we don't take responsibility today.
That's right.
To be present with this moment, be present. That's all I'm telling all the agents to do.
This is going to go away at some point. We got to just be diligent while it's here, but just work through it and help people along the way. Bring items of value to your clients. I mean, another thing to do on social media is, while you're on social media, giving value and helping your sphere, the people you're connected with. Also, start plugging in on your advertising piece on KV Core. If you're a part of KV Core or Boomtown or Zirple or whatever, plug some listings in through there to get people something to look at. Because if people are at home and they're searching for something to do, give them something to do. Give them something to look at. Give them something to check out. So give them those tools or those resources to start looking at it. Also,
Rob,
Rob,
one thing about KV Core that just hit me hard this past week, right before everything started up, there's a big sign on one of these big buildings, a real estate office in our town, and they were so excited to have KV Core. They put a big thing on the marquee that says, "We have KV Core." And then I thought to myself, how are they going to train these people now that they're all at home? Thank goodness I can go to my online training 50 hours a week, and KV Core is all through that training system right now.
Right.
And I've even given them, some of those agents, the opportunity to come in as guests and take KV Core training, and they love it.
I mean, I will let you guys talk more detail, Danny and Rob, all of you talk about detail as to why I am so blessed and beyond grateful for the way we set up with our partnership with EXP. And I let you guys go more detail on that. But OMG, how many times we went out and shared with the other agent, they always say, but I like my office. Well, right now, more.
I like my office.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a second.
I cannot help.
Welcome to my office.
Let's do a shift right quick. Let's talk about that for a second. So a number of years ago, myself and Tony and Denny got involved in EXP Realty for a reason, because we saw something coming in the industry. The industry's changing. It's not the old broker way we used to do it. It's not the old office way we used to do it. And things have shifted. And so, Tony, can you talk a little bit about how you're doing real estate in these days versus what you used to do?
Well, I've got a client right now that we had to wait for him to be able to qualify to get a mortgage, because he went through foreclosure, bankruptcy, short sales, all the things. And you know where he used to work? He was a Blockbuster executive. He was upper management Blockbuster, and he waited too long to get out. And we were just talking about that the other day, the parallels of where we are in this market right now with Amazon and with Netflix and all those things. I remember Rob called me up one day and he says, "Man, I got to talk to you." And I said, "Rob, my son's in Nashville. He's a musician." I said, "Rob, I can't come to Nashville and talk to you." And I knew he had many, many RE/MAX franchise operations up there. I said, "I can't come." He goes, "No, man, I'm down here in Georgia. I live on the lake down here." I said, "Say what?" So anyway, we met at a McDonald's halfway. And I want to tell you, my wife and I, we went up there, and Rob, thank you so much, because 15 minutes into it, I had to rush back and figure out how to make this change.
Right.
When I remember the days as a broker when I was trying to figure out every month, maybe twice a month, having training and bringing people into an area that I rented, because we had a large company and I had to come up with all those topics and everything. But as soon as I saw that training, man, they're up to 50 hours a week of optional training right now that you can do everything from where I'm sitting right now, at the lake house. But when I saw that, and then I saw the things that, I used to enjoy company ownership. Okay. Of course I had the overhead I had to meet first, but this gives me company ownership. I said, Rob, you have got to be kidding. This gives me ownership without all the expenses. And then when you think about the revenue would come in. Now, the thing is I had to go through all those expenses in order to be able to get to profit. And the crumbs were left over at the end for me to participate in.
I remember those days.
But this company comes along and they say, off the top, we're going to let you be involved in the revenue that comes in. People say, don't tell me about this because I may like it. I had somebody tell me
Exactly.
I said, well, you not tell me about this because I'm afraid I may like it. I said, man, it's kind of like I invite you to church and you say, I don't want to come to your church because I may like it. And then I'll be giving up my Sundays, And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what are you missing? You have to listen to what this is. And Rob, I want to tell you something, buddy. I can't tell you enough how thankful I am you called me. Thank you so much, because this changed our lives. It's changed my wife's life. My daughter and son-in-law, they're icon agents with EXP. And where some people get a plaque every February, for being a top producer, our daughter and son-in-law, they're in their early 30s. They get $16,000 worth of stock time they meet that goal. And you know what? They still get a plaque. Of course, it stays at home and nobody ever sees it.
Right.
They have got enough money already in their shares where it's taking care of weddings for my grandchildren. It's taking care of college. And I'm going to tell you what, I used to refer agents to my Remax operation. What happened with us is we merged our Remax operation into another one. Great guys over there. I love them. But to tell you the truth, when I referred them an agent, I got a $5 Starbucks card.
Right, pretty much.
You know what I'm talking about, Rob.
Yeah.
But this is just incredible. And I just want to tell you, thank you, buddy, for introducing us, because this changed our lives. It really has.
I mean, it's been great to partner with you, because in this platform, it's different than any other company out there. And until now, nobody could understand the difference until they dig into it. But I think we're seeing the difference right in our face now, because look at the companies. I'm hearing agents from other companies going, our office is closed today. Can't get a hold of my broker. The accounting staff is not in, so they can't cut our checks, right? Technology staff is not there, so I can't get something fixed. No training, because no training going on because the office is closed, right? Well, here's another thing on a bigger scale. I pulled this up. SoftBank pulls out of place to buy $3 billion in shares from WeWorks. SoftBank Vision Fund lost $2.1 billion in the third quarter in profits. They changed their CEO. Guess who SoftBank is backing?
Oh, God.
Compass.
Ah!
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see a lot of changes. We're going to see a lot of things going on. We're going to see a lot of changes in the Remax system, in the Keller Williams system, the Coldwell Banker system, because the market is shifting.
Yeah.
But in this company, here's what's happened in this company. We never shut down.
That's right.
It stayed open the entire time, still open right now.
As we speak.
Trainings are going on right now in the world, right? Accounting office is open. They're still cutting checks and direct depositing money. Our technology department is open. So we've had this set up already for years. Agents have been doing this for years, right?
Hey, Rob, one thing, one of the things I remember, I used to have to drive 25 miles to go in and see the broker and hopefully spend some time with them, This situation here, I can go into the world. Some people know it as the EXP cloud. I can go to the department, because there's 400 people on staff now. I can go into the department, check in. They can pull up my file. They can say, what's the address? What are we talking about here? What's the transaction? They can pull up my file, and I'm in and out of there in 3 minutes, still sitting here on the lake,
With your shorts on.
Yeah,
I do. I got my shorts on.
I'm not wearing pants.
You normally wear that.
so the industry has been changing for years, and this is only exacerbating it. But it's bringing a point to what the we made 2 years ago has allowed us to set us up for successful faster going forward. Now, here's what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of agents making some changes. They're going to see the way they were doing business before and whatever company they were in may not be the right fit going forward. It may, but it may not. They're going to say, well, how can I work in a different environment? How can I work in a way that could help me maximize my own money? How can I work in a way where I can get ownership in the company? How can I work in a way where I can partner with other agents and get overrides like brokers have done? Well, that's where this company has been really good about helping agents to set themselves up for situations like this. Now, what's going to happen in another few years when something else happens in the real estate industry or to the economy or to the market or whatever? Are you just going to say, well, man, I should have done this or should have done that?
Time for a shift.
I always like to say you can either watch it happen, you can make it happen, or you can wonder what happened.
What
So I'm in the let's make it happen business. But I want y'all, and here's what I want your perspective on, because the two of you have, just this vast amount of experience and knowledge. There's three things that we always talk about with EXP that we call really revolutionary. One being, the virtual nature of it. Two, the stock for the agents, and then the revenue share. So, we've kind of touched on all of it, but as a fairly new agent, I swore I would never become an agent because I live and die by the cash flow quadrants. And if y'all haven't read that, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrants is probably it's what I call my Bible. It's my business Bible, not my Bible. Yeah. But, it's all about where your money comes from. So if you punch a clock and have a job, you're an employee. If you're a realtor, you're self-employed. But both of those have to go work to make money. If you transition to the right side, you're a business owner. That's what in real estate we call a broker, like you guys. And I knew I never wanted to be a broker, and I never wanted to be an agent. I didn't want to be an agent because I wanted passive income. I didn't want to sell until I die. Agent's retirement party is their funeral. And I knew to be a broker, I would have to do all this legal compliance, risk, overhead, liability. And that's just not me. Like, I would get arrested for not paying attention, not intentionally doing something wrong, but for not paying attention. Like, I didn't want to be responsible for everybody else, even liability or risk aside. And then obviously if you make a bunch of money, you invest it, you become an investor. So I never saw myself as an agent until I had lunch with you, and you showed me how I could be not be a broker, but the leverage other people's time, the technology, the processes, the systems of EXP to create a leveraged passive income so that I didn't have to sell till I die, and so that I could help other people. So for me, like, that's what got me to go get my license. But I look at now being in the middle of this, I look at those three things and I go, wow, over 10 years ago, Glenn had this vision to create a virtual brokerage. And today, all of the guidance, all the support, all the accountability, all the accounting, all the technology, all the training, everything we need is literally right here in a computer, and we don't have to go anywhere. So, like, I think more than ever, people will, even the people that resist it are now being forced into it. Like, my kindergartner's doing school in my kitchen. Like, I don't want to homeschool kids, but I now know what that's like, right? So people are getting a taste of it. And let me ask you this. If people are forced over the next 1, 2, 3 months to figure out how to work from their computer, and then they're given the option to get dressed up, sit in traffic, drive across town, and go to the broker's office, are they going to want to? So, like, one, there's the efficiency. Two, there's the cost. Like, if you're paying $300 a month for an office you can't go to right now, like, no. So I want y'all to tackle that. And then the second is, like, from investor equity stock ownership. Like, most of the times you sell a house, you get a paycheck. This concept of building up equity in a stock account, like a 401k or an IRA, like, the whole market is down 30-40% right now. It could be down 50 or 60. Like, I'm going to take 100% of my liquid capital and buy EXPI. Like, it's a buy. Like, we just went from 0 agents to 27,000. We're going from 27,000 to 200,000. We're in, the top 3 revenue, agents, sides, volume, all that stuff. You know, we've been investing a lot in infrastructure, and that's going to change as the infrastructure is built. Then the margin accelerates. There's more net profit for the company. Our stock goes it's already gone from 1 to around 10. It's up and down. It's probably 7 now, which is a great opportunity, by the way. But that's going to be a retirement play for our agents. And then last but not least, what I love about the revenue share personally was like I get to I developed a multiple 6-figure residual income by the age of 30 and then went and had a bunch of babies. But like I want to teach agents, like, how do you get paid not just for what you do, but for what other people do, and how great Tony, I don't know about you. I know Rob and Kim's background with EXP a little bit more diligent, but how many states are y'all in? Just how many states are y'all in?
They're in dozens. I'm in 6. Okay.
All right. So how cool is it to know that the virus is hitting different cities and different real estate markets at different rates, that you're diversified? It's not just you. It's this team everywhere, even Canada, Australia, and the UK, soon to be France, Germany, and Mexico. Like, to have a worldwide network of agents selling real estate so that you're diversified in terms of events like this. Like, I know that I just went on a rant, but like, I just think all 3 of those things, we are getting a light shined on how awesome all of that is.
Denny, let me just tackle a couple of things here right quick. You know, the thing is that let's talk about mastermind groups first of all. You know, in a mastermind group, you go to a local hotel. There's a circle of 10 chairs around there, and you as an agent, especially if you're saying your first 5-6 years and you're a medium producer, you got to wait on somebody to die or pull away from that table for an empty chair, and then you have to be invited to that chair. The other thing that happens in a mastermind group at the hotel is they're not really going to give all their secrets because they're competition. They're competition within their own company, okay? And the thing is that EXP, what I found out it was, I could go into the EXP world, some know it is the cloud, and honestly go into a room, and the collaboration that happens, the reason that people share so much is because all ships are going to rise together. We own this company together, and everyone wants others to succeed. So we get to share the information, we get to share the tools, we get to share the things that really make our lives worthwhile. I want to tell you the other thing is, and Rob, I don't know if you agree with this. I have grandchildren. Okay, my adult children are grown. I have grandchildren I'm taking care of now. I want to tell you something. I wish I had this early on. I really do. I wish I'd had this. I probably wouldn't have been a qualifying broker. Okay, I would have stayed an agent, and because of all the opportunities that are here. That's the reason I'm so excited for those that are, say, below 40. The future is incredible in this company for what's coming up. The kind of growth that we're having, the way the trajectory is happening, the stock ownership. Man, what can you say about that? I just buy, it's given to me, and I leave it alone because I know that it's going to be dollar cost averaging, and we're going to see that happen. And then the other thing, you touched on the revenue share. Some people say, well, I don't want to talk about revenue share. Every business owner everywhere deals with revenue. If they don't deal with revenue, they're out of business. Right. And the thing is if you don't have a share of the revenue, you don't have anything in that business whatsoever. So
Tony,
this company said, hey, we're going to let you be a part of that revenue. And that's so
Tony,
cool because
you know what drives me crazy about agents who, like, you know, they just want to sell. They don't want to talk about revenue share. They don't want to talk about recruiting. They don't want to talk about team building. Listen, if I got something good, I'm telling everybody anyway. Like, I recently stumbled on this new technology with a doctor that, you know, if you're an aging athlete like me and you have bad joints, then, you know, they can shock it and it creates all these stem cells. I don't get paid. I've told everybody that I possibly know because it's like made me feel better. Like, hey, you should go see this guy. It'll make you feel better. Like, when you discover something great, you have to share it with people. And I kind of view it like gravity. You can deny that gravity exists, but if you step off of this deck, you're going to fall. Well, you can deny that you need to pay your bills when you're 70, but you will one day become 70. And unless you just want to keep selling houses, you better do something now that puts you in a position later to not have to sell houses.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason we did the fast track for our retirement by joining EXP. We really have.
So agents are going to need to know that things are going to change. It's how you position yourself in the marketplace.
Right.
No matter what company you're with, you have to change the way you position yourself in the marketplace. It's just that we are able to do it in a unique way with EXP, pretty much allowing every single real estate agent to act like a broker, override like a broker, and leverage like a broker without having to be one, without the building overhead. Get the stock ownership piece and get the cap back with and be virtually 100% for the top producers, the icon agents. So in the industry today, creating those unique skills, just like we talked about today, to be something different, to learn something different. So I'm gonna do something unique here. Anybody who's on this call that's not a EXP agent, if you want to come into our world and go to some of the trainings for the next 2 weeks, we can get you a free guest pass to come in, and they're doing some unique trainings this week on how you can ramp up your business in this marketplace. They've shifted their trainings this week, and they're amazing. So get back with the person that invited you onto this call, onto this video webinar, and we will get you that guest pass to go in and view the trainings and take a tour of the world. As a matter of fact, since we don't have soccer games and basketball and all this stuff going on right now, they're actually in the world. They're creating their own soccer game, right? They're doing a soccer game. I can't remember when it is, tomorrow, the next day, or whenever, but they're soon doing a soccer game. It's going to be Kentucky versus Alabama. And they're doing a virtual soccer game, and they're going to invite other people to come watch. And they're actually doing voting pool. Brackets. They're doing brackets on this soccer game, right? In the world, we're doing a virtual soccer game. So it's not all work. It's fun too. But we have the technology already built to do that. And think about it. Here's what's also exploding. We have a tie-in with our mortgage company that you can own. You can own a part of the mortgage company. They're doing skyrocketing businesses with refinancing right now, and you can get overrides off of that. Also, Virbela, the technology that is creating our virtual office, is open to other companies. Guess what's happening to Virbela right now? A lot of businesses are now contacting Virbela and saying, I need a virtual workspace. I need a virtual environment for my company. We're not talking about real estate only. We're talking about other types of companies and businesses and organizations and schools and government agencies that need virtual workspaces, and Virbela has it. Well, guess who owns Virbela?
EXP.
EXP does, right? So that's going into our stock. So all this has created an environment for us to thrive in the future, not just in the real estate world, but also in like Tony said, other ways to create value and income in this marketplace. So guys, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. Hope we brought some value to you. And if you have any questions, get back with one of us. We all share. We're all business partners in this, because the more that you guys do, the more we all grow the company. So get back with us. We'll be happy to sit down and do a private talk and see, hey, here's your situation. Here's what you can focus on, and you can explode your business. So I want to thank everybody for coming on this webinar. And we will hopefully we'll see you on the virtual shareholders meeting, because we had to cancel our shareholders meeting in Florida with the virus going on. But we're already set up for virtual training and virtual seminars. We're going to have it virtually in the world, right?
And
good to hear from everybody. Thank you so much.
Tony. Thanks, Rob, Tim.
Next Thursday, we will try to do sooner. I don't know, we will talk with Danny and Tony and a few other leaders, but we're going to do this again for sure, 11 o'clock next Thursday. Next Thursday, because we want to bring the value. We want you to be mentor and to kind of hear our story, where we came from and what we're doing right now. So you know how to get in touch with us. But that's what Tony and Danny and Mindset. If you need any question, Danny and Tony are like, on our team, I'm so blessed to have amazing leaders like them. So I just want to say thank you, Tony, so much. And thank you, Danny, for your leadership. And
if you're in Atlanta, it's a beautiful day outside, so y'all get outside.
That's right.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.